my name is Liz Homsy, and I am a criminal defense, civil rights, and election attorney here in Chicago. I wanted to start by thanking the Women's Campaign so much for inviting me to do this video for them, as well as thanking all of you, the wonderful many folks who are out there contributing time and money to organizations and individuals, and more during this really difficult time. I would especially like to thank my friend Jessica, who runs our local Solidarity Sundays chapter, for contributing more excellent ideas for non-lawyers to help others while still staying safe during the COVID-19 crisis. So one of the things that I've learned a lot lately, or I've been hearing a lot lately, is that one of the more difficult aspects of being trapped in quarantine, other than completely reasonable financial fears, fears of the virus, worries for family and friends, is that there can be a bit of a feeling of helplessness right now, of not being able to do anything. Even for those who aren't struggling medically or financially during this time, feeling overwhelmed is a pretty common phenomenon. One way that I've found to combat this feeling is to contribute my time to causes that desperately need money, manpower, or attention. I'm fortunate enough to be able to work with extraordinary groups like the National Immigrant Justice Center, the National Lawyers Guild, and a few really wonderful other ones here. So even when some of my cases have had to be put on hold because of the courts being closed, I've been able to still help out in other areas. But for someone without a law degree, it can be a little daunting to find ways to contribute and still stay safe while sheltering in place. Fortunately, there are actually a ton of ways for people to help without even leaving their homes. For this video, I will focus on ways folks can directly impact individual communities through letter writing and other really stay-at-home type activities. And if it's helpful, I can discuss a little bit more direct impact things to do in future videos. So one of the things you can do that can have an extraordinary impact on your community is to contribute time to a local campaign. We've only seen half of our primaries so far, and while you obviously cannot go door knocking anymore, if there is a primary coming up in your area, finding a good local candidate who reflects your values and sending out postcards for them, working for text banks or phone banks for them, these can be really powerful ways to contribute. This is doubly powerful for local candidates who frequently take a bit of a backseat attention-wise to national campaigns, while at the same time who make a great deal more of an impact on your day-to-day life. Organizations like Postcards for Voters, or Postcards to Voters, forgive me, can help folks engage with elections that reflect their values, and we'll have links to places where folks can order cheap postcards to send out on behalf of the candidates that speak the best to them. This is, again, especially vital for local candidates, but especially vital for cis female, minority, queer, and trans candidates, as they frequently have a great deal more difficulty, even in the best of times, when it comes to raising funds or getting attention and support. If you want to help our incarcerated population, writing letters and cards to inmates can be a really powerful way to change somebody's day. Inmates have frequently talked about the ways in which mail can be a really powerful thing to help a person psychologically cope with life as a prisoner. More importantly, with our jails rapidly becoming hotspots for COVID-19, the psychological damage to the inmate population can be really difficult to bear. This can be worse for women inmates, approximately 80% of whom have children that they're afraid for outside of the prison, and who frequently themselves are victims of abuse or assault. Groups like Survived and Punished can help folks write letters and cards of support to women who are suffering in our overcrowded prison system, and can help folks engage constructively with folks who desperately need the help. Another powerful option for letter writing is to send out letters and cards to our sometimes forgotten elderly and disabled communities right in our own neighborhoods. Nursing homes, elder care facilities, and other places where folks live in order to receive heightened levels of care house folks who may have already had difficulties with isolation before the coronavirus became so difficult. Receiving a card or a letter when you're more isolated than normal can be a really powerful thing, and it can turn around a person's entire day. For those looking to engage in this manner, contact local organizations. Obviously, don't try and directly write to people without working through them, but contact local organizations that regularly engage with these populations and ask if you might be able to write to folks. Here in Chicago, we have columnist Rex Hupke, who started a group called Pandemic Pals, which has an amazing impact on a lot of the people, both who receive these letters and the ones who are writing them. Many of these actions can be done with young kids and can help your family feel more engaged with your communities while we're still isolating from others. They also really do a great thing to help our beleaguered post office, who badly need the revenue from stamps at the moment. Hopefully in future videos, I'll be able to discuss more direct ways to contribute to your community outside of letter writing. But for now, I hope you all stay safe out there, stay engaged, and again, helping others can be a really great way to feel like you're contributing and to help yourself, especially if you're feeling more helpless during this time period than normal. If not, if this is all too overwhelming, don't be afraid to take some time and just binge watch a show or something. There are no judgments here, but if you feel really keen to be engaged, I hope this has been helpful. Have a good one, and thank you again.